For this book review, I chose Killers of the Flower Moon, which is the Osage Murders and Birth of the FBI by David Grann. So this is a nonfiction book told in the third person that goes deep into the history and the corruptness of the Osage murders that occurred early in the 1900s. So just a summary of this, the Osage tribe is located primarily in Oklahoma, in kind of a hilly part of Oklahoma after they fought many years for that property. The government tried to take it away from them, and many settlers actually took tons of their property that they used to have away. So where they were located is very rich in oil, and therefore made many of the Osage tribe members very wealthy. And so it all started out when a girl named Molly, who was part of the Osage family, her Osage tribe, her sister mysteriously disappeared for a few days and was later found murdered. And since then, almost all the time it seemed like murders were happening left and right within the Osage tribe. And so the sheriff in charge during the first few murders did absolutely nothing about this, and he ended up going to prison because of the fact. And so, yeah, there were just tons of murders within that family, and eventually the entire goal of the person in charge of these murders was to get it down to just Molly, so then wipe out Molly and inherit all of the money. So that was the end goal of the person in charge, which we will get to. So Tom White was an agent for the Bureau, not yet the FBI, and he stepped in and performed endless amounts of research and hired a bunch of agents under him to try and get information on these murders and fill in the gaps of the information that they already had. And so after he completed all this research, he noticed a weird correlation between Molly's husband and another man named William Hale. And William Hale was in charge of a lot of the Osage's money. He was very trusted within their tribe and almost looked up to, and he was a very trusted man. So Molly was married to his nephew, and basically the whole goal of William Hale was to kill off all of Molly's family and eventually just end up with his nephew inheriting all of her family's money, which then he would eventually get a large part of. So after Tom found out that William Hale inherited $25,000 from one of the men that he inevitably killed, he connected this that, okay, that was his motive behind this. He wasn't just a friend with this guy. He wanted his money once he was dead. That guy's name was Henry Roan. And so Tom was able to eventually put William Hale into jail. Ernest came forward. Ernest was Molly's husband. He came forward and confessed and pleaded guilty that yes, he was an insider for William Hale this whole time and was giving him leads on all of these people to kill. And he didn't actually take place in any of the murders, however. So William Hale ended up being in prison for life after that, and because Tom White was able to do such a great thing for the Osage tribe, he was then the warden of the prison that he put William Hale into, and William Hale's boss, Tom's boss, last name was Hoover, and he was like the big guy in the Bureau at the time. He was then able to develop the FBI because of this case and because of the success that they had throughout it. So that's kind of how the FBI came out of this whole situation. So a few of the strengths I found with this was a very accurate representation of repeat victimization. The people within the town were always the ones being targeted repeatedly. And then there was also a demonstration of the measures that the citizens took to increase their security. They tried moving to another place, and they tried getting guard dogs, but that just kept not working either. So they really tried, though. It shows great strength on their part. And then some of the weaknesses of this book I found was it was kind of strange how they gave us a historical part of the whole land that the Osage tribe resided in after a lot of the whole story was told. And so I just thought it would be very beneficial to know why they were being targeted as often because of the wealth there. And we did get some signal of that, but I just thought the whole background would have been better at the beginning. And then also just kind of the whole timeline did get a bit confusing with the different sections that he split it into. It was helpful in some senses, but then it also was a little bit confusing. So as a whole, I did think this book was a very strong book to read for victimization, and I did get a strong grasp of the whole morals, and racism was definitely a large part of this book, and the Osage tribe and why they were victimized. So thank you.